Today's practice is focused around the theme of spanda, and spanda is a Sanskrit word that means pulsation. Physically in the practice, even if you're still like you are right now holding downward facing dog, you know, you can feel it, that you're not entirely still. There's a natural pulsation that's happening. Your breath is a natural pulsation. There's also just a natural contraction of the muscles and an expansion of the muscles. This is the entire exploration today. But it's really important to notice that, like, even though you're on a floor, and we will agree as sane people to say that this floor is solid, it is not solid. It is made out of tiny molecules that are constantly vibrating and pulsing. This is spanda. It exists on every level. Everything that exists in the planet, everywhere that ever has been, that ever will be, is in a constant state of pulsation. It is what defines your life. Inhale and shift forward to plank. As you exhale, press back to downward facing dog. And if you haven't already called Ujjayi into your body, do it now. So you're inhaling and exhaling through your nose with a gentle tone at the back of your throat. As you inhale, pull forward to plank. Feel the expansive quality of the inhale. Exhale, contract, and press back to downward facing dog. Inhale one more time, pull forward to plank. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. There's a bunch of different ways we could explore this, but the main way we are going to explore it is that there is a focal point in any given pose. So from the periphery of your body, we're going to draw into the focal point as what I call muscular energy, the contracting quality. And then from the focal point, we're going to expand out. So here, it's your upper back from the base of the heart center. So from the feet and the fingertips, imagine the energy traveling along the lines of your legs, your belly, your upper back, all the way into the base of the heart center. And then from that point, push down into your hands more, lift your hips higher, and stretch into your legs more. Knees can be bent, and you could still find this full organic energy or the extension out from the focal point. Inhale and lift your right leg up. So we're going to play a little bit here. Pull your right knee into your chest. Place the foot directly in between your hands, like you would for Warrior Two, but it's not Warrior Two. It's like a midline lunge, okay? So your right foot is almost directly in front of your left. It's like you're tight roping. It's going to require you to balance, but it's also going to give you a lot more facility to hug the midline. Take a big breath in here. As you exhale, straighten your leg to whatever degree you can. You could certainly use blocks. It's going to feel funky. It's going to feel different than it normally does. Good. Just take one more breath with the right leg straight. Keep pulling the outer right hip and thigh back. We're going to do two more of those. So inhale, bend the right knee, sternum lifted, heart open. Exhale, squeeze the legs straight, but keep extending the legs long. Inhale, bend. Exhale, and straighten. Inhale, bend the right knee. Now this is also a little bit funky. You're going to step your left foot forward, behind and outside of your right foot. So your legs are crisscrossed, but please don't lock them straight. Bend your knees so your left shin is pushing forward into the back of your right calf. Inhale, lift and lengthen here. Exhale, forward fold. Now squeeze your legs like crazy so you feel the connection from the lateral part of your body medial. So you're feeling this connection to the core line of your body. Maintain that as you now inhale, half lift and lengthen, and you're gonna pull your right knee into your chest as you come up to stand. When we balance, I know you're on the right side of your mat, don't worry, we're gonna get right here. When you are in a traditional balance pose, we tend to do too much muscular energy. We tend to do too much gripping. So what I want you to explore is the organic energy out, the extension part of spanda. So press down into the left foot, push your right knee forward, lift through the heart and the crown of your head. Take a very big breath in. With control, exhale and lower the right foot down next to your left. Stand in Tadasana. You are certainly towards the right side of your mat. So you're going to take a big breath in and just step the left foot a little wider so you're in a wide stance. Inhale and stretch the arms up. Exhale and forward fold. Lift and lengthen through the spine. You might have to plant your hands like a little bit left, but still there's shoulder distance as you step back to plank pose. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lower forward and down to chaturanga. Inhale, curl into cobra pose, or upward facing, of course, and back to downward facing dog. Take your time. Breathe. Feel the pulse of your breath. It is the inner body expression of Spanda, right? Literally, like when you are hooked up to a monitor that is monitoring your heartbeat, the pulse goes up and down, up and down, up and down. It literally defines being alive. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale the left foot right to the midline of the mat. So squeeze the legs together like crazy. That's your contraction. And then straighten your left leg, but pull the left hip and thigh back. We're going to hang here just to dial in the pelvis. So both sides of the pelvis are in the same plane. Really extend evenly through both feet, front and back foot. In the flow 2 times. Inhale, bend the left knee. Exhale and straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale and straighten. Inhale, bend, and as you exhale, step the left foot behind and outside of the right. Remember to keep your knees bent a little bit so right shin is pushing forward into left. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale and rise all the way up and pull your left knee into your chest. It's a tricky transition. Focus on the extension. And philosophically, the lesson really is like when we feel particularly contracted, when we're in a challenging place, it never lasts, right? Right on the other side of it is something expansive and vice versa. And it's like we can't stop the pulse. It's always going to happen. Inhale, the arms up over your head. As you exhale, just release the left foot down. Bring your hands to your heart. Step your right foot wide so you're in a wide Tadasana. Inhale and stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen. Step back to plank. Slow lower chaturanga. Curl into your back bend. And back to downward facing dog. So when we are challenged, we tend to be like, when we feel like we're in a contracted place, we tend to think like it's never going to end, but it always does. And the only thing we can control is how we react to it. So having like the point of view to know that the quality of everything in existence is impulse. It's moving constantly. You're only going to cause yourself hardship and struggle if you think that you can control the movement of the universe, right? You can't. So just get used to it and just enjoy the ride wherever it may take you. Come back to that breath, in and out. Feel the natural pulsation. Bend your knees, look forward, step, or hop, feet to hands. Lengthen on the inhale, forward fold on your exhale. Inhale and rise to stand. Exhale, hands to the heart. So we're going to take the feet about, well, you know what? Actually, let's take them together. Let's do a feet together variation. But the heels are apart and maybe a little further apart than they normally would be for chair, but the inner edge of the foot, the base of the big toe is touching. So it looks like the outer edges of your feet are parallel with the wide edges of the mat. I'm going to cue you step by step here. So we're going to something that looks like chair, but it might not look exactly like your regular chair. Release your arms to your sides with your palms facing forward and your shoulder blades hugging really firmly onto your back. Put your weight in your heels. So the groins hollow out. That's just the start of our internal rotation in the thighs. Now you're going to bend your knees the tiniest bit so the knees hug toward one another. They probably even touch. Lift your belly up like crazy and draw your belly back. As the chest lifts, lower the chin slightly. And you are going to hinge at your hips, truly hinge at your hips. Move your butt back and then stretch the arms forward as a counterbalance. Keep reaching the sternum forward, but keep your chin tucked slightly. It should feel like you're gonna fall over. Weight in your heels, but you're hugging your feet together like crazy. Now, keeping this base in your legs, knees over ankles, you've got it beautifully. Lift your chest up slightly so it feels a little bit more like that back bendy form of chair. Take a deep breath in. To come out, just lower your hands down and back as you come to stand. So I want you to try that, really counterbalancing the weight, getting your weight in your heels, butt back, chest forward, maybe up as we go into chair again. Bend your knees, shift the hips back, stretch the arms forward, maybe they go up. Take a big breath in. Now, as you exhale, bring your hands together in front of your heart. You're gonna root down, especially into your right foot. Step your left leg all the way back. We're gonna open up into warrior two. So you're gonna land the left foot and then open it up. It's a tricky transition, so you wanna make sure that you landed where you need to be supported, front heel, back arch alignment in warrior two. Beautiful, and just feel your breath. Take a reverse warrior, lift the right hip point up off the right thigh. See if you can bend a little deeper into the front knee. Feel your feet hug in. Tons of contraction from your feet into the midline, but lift and expand through your upper body. Beautiful. Inhale through to warrior two and to Parsvakonasana, so forearm to the thigh or fingertips outside of the foot. Wrap your right shoulder blade on the back and extend the arm over your head. It's expansive by nature, this posture, so you have to find the places where you can contract. So belly back, engaged, feet hug in. The next pose is even more expansive, Ardha Chandrasana. Look down, locate a block if you need it. Right hand way far out in front of the right foot and slightly off to the right. Your hand will land underneath your shoulder. Now your legs, your arms are expanding, so where can you contract? Imagine you are pushing your left ankle down toward the floor. Scoop your right buttock under, draw your belly back. Yeah, beautiful. Take one more big breath in. This is tricky. Both hands down and square your hips. It's gonna be a crisscross uttanasana again. So you're just gonna step your left foot behind and outside of your right. Same idea as what we did before. Inhale, half lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. But maybe you can crisscross a little bit more so the right thigh is really on top of the left. So as you now bend your knees, the right foot just kind of floats up and you're in eagle legs. It's a tricky transition. Now lift your hands up off the floor, and if you can, we'll do eagle arms as well. Right arm underneath left. Lift the sternum up to whatever degree you can, so you're in more of an upright eagle. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, forward fold. And we're gonna do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up. You can always use your right foot as a little kickstand, touching down. Exhale, elbows toward right knee. And then last one, inhale, lift, fantastic. Exhale and fold. Good. Inhale, lift all the way back up. Same idea, you're gonna unwind and uncross, pull your right knee into your chest. Just a momentary lingering here. Take a big breath in. Land your right foot next to your left. And you can just step the left foot to the center of the mat, step the right foot to meet it. So we're in feet together, prep for chair pose. Outer edges of the feet are parallel with the long, wide edges of the mat. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Feel the pulse. It's the ebb and flow, in and out, contracting and expanding. Shift your weight into your heels, bend your knees, shift your butt back as you stretch your arms forward. Feel that momentary counterbalance, and then only lift your arms up higher if you feel like you can maintain your hips back. It's beautiful. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. You're heavy in the left foot. Step the right foot straight back, land the toe mounds, and then spin the heel flat to the floor as you open up for warrior two. So this whole standing sequence, it's very expansive. You're stretching out from the midline of your body in all directions. So to really honor the Spanda, we have to find the places where we contract. So hug the feet and the shins in more, and what's gonna happen is you're actually gonna be able to bend deeper into the left knee and widen the inner right thigh toward the back wall more. Draw your belly in, you're actually gonna support the expansion and lift through the spine more. Hug your shoulder blades onto the back more, and the front of the chest is gonna open. Reverse warrior. Beautiful. Everything stays stable in the legs. Nothing changes. Come through to Parsvakonasana. Not terribly long holds, but long enough that we can feel the pulse. Utthita Parsvakonasana, so you're sending your right arm in the overhead plane. Keep hugging your left shoulder blade on your back. And no, this is probably the most expansive and most challenging Ardha Chandrasana. So look at the floor. Your left hand is going to reach forward. It's a waist's distance in front of the left foot and slightly off to the left. Right leg floats. And there's a little hug in. The right shin and ankle push down slightly as you scoop the buttocks under. Belly back, heart open, sides of the throat and the head back. It's beautiful. Take a big breath in. Tricky here a little bit. Right hand down, pelvis square. The right foot steps behind and outside of the left. But maybe you can crisscross a little bit more. So it's more the thighs than the shins that are crossed. That's right, exactly. Inhale, half lift, lengthen, and then forward fold. Now inhale and come upright in your torso, and maybe your left foot can float up. So you're in Eagle, Garudasana. Left arm underneath right. And now if you can, we flow a little bit. So you're wrapped around the midline. Squeeze in more with your forearms. Squeeze in more with your legs. Take a big breath in. Exhale, elbows touch the left knee. Inhale, come back up. Expand the front of the body as much as you can. Exhale, contract and draw in. Inhale, expand. You're just a physical manifestation of the pulsation of your breath. Exhale and fold. And then balancing to come out. So inhale, come up. Unwind the arms. Try to pull the left knee into your chest as you come up. And then land the left foot. Land Tadasana. Just come to a sit bone distance apart. Let's just kind of flesh it out with our traditional flow. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, forward bend over your legs. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Feel how there's a natural pulse. Plant your hands and step to plank. This is inhale, elongated. Exhale, contract as you come into chaturanga. Inhale, big open stretch in your back bend. Exhale, contraction back to dog. So even in the sun salutation, that flow, one pose is contracting and one pose is expanding. Take a moment to rest in child's. Knees down, hips to heels. We've been spending a little bit more time, if you're doing these practices sequentially, we've been spending a little bit more time on our hands. And there's a great handstand tutorial on the site. So if you're newer to handstand, during any of these practices where we're going upside down, hitting pause and doing a handstand tutorial is a perfect thing to kind of sub in the middle. But we're gonna play with a pretty, it looks really hard to do, but in a way it's easier. So we're gonna do handstand with eagle legs. So handstand is by nature a very expansive pose. Eagle legs are very contracting. They help you hug the midline, which helps you find balance. So most of you are gonna do this against a wall, and it's the usual handstand setup against the wall. Raquel and I are gonna do this on the mat in the middle of the room. So it's a regular kick up to handstand, and I'm gonna hold her at her hips. What you'd be doing is balancing your foot, one foot against the wall and crisscrossing your legs. You don't want to think about it too much because you'll overthink it and like kind of not be able to process where your body is in space. So we'll play with it up here. You can take a look at it and then we'll do it. We'll do it for both sides. So downward facing dog to start. Stepping one foot in about halfway and lifting the other leg up. So just pause. Inhale, exhale, and just soften the heart. Right, that's the focal point. We're drawing into that point and out from that point, the base of the heart center. It's just like downward facing dog. So kick up into your handstand, and then if you're balanced, bend your knees and cross right leg in front of left. Double cross or just at the thighs. Squeeze your legs like crazy, and from your upper back, push down into your hands, and from your upper back, extend up through your legs. Push up as much as you're pressing down. Yeah, and then amazing. Uncross your legs and slowly come down. Take a rest. That was great. How did it feel?
It happens some days, it's wobbly.
That's wise words. So what's interesting about practicing with entirely focused on Spanda is that you actually have it's a lot easier to balance because we usually we contract when we're in a hard situation. We do tons of muscular energy and it makes it too precious and we can't hold it. But when you're really focused on trying to feel both the contraction and the expansion, it actually enables you to balance easier. Let's do the second side. So we're gonna be crossing left leg in front. And you can alternate your kick up leg if you remembered which one you kicked up with. But remember the focal point's the heart center. That's what we're drawing into and expanding out from. Go for it whenever you're ready. Yeah. And then you'll play with left leg in front. And notice one leg is probably gonna be a little bit more open than the other. And then if you can get your higher foot off the wall, really try to extend up through that heel. Down through your hands, up through the heel, hug the legs to the midline. The more you hug, the more you can extend. And then slowly unwind, take a rest in Child's, give yourself a second. And if Child's isn't restful for you, you can always take like knees into the chest or just come to a down dog. Those are both perfect variations. And pull yourself forward so you're in Sphinx pose, on the belly, propped on your forearms. I think variations of the pose we're about to do are really the perfect example of a physical manifestation of Spanda. Turn your left arm in so it's parallel with the front edge of the mat, and then reach back with your right hand to grab your right foot for a thigh stretch. So one piece of this is the muscular energy where you're hugging your foot in toward your butt. But then the organic energy is the push back of your foot into your hand. Now, to really open up the thigh, you want to keep pulling your foot in and don't let it move. And then keeping your foot as close to your butt, you kick your foot back into your hand. So that's that little push-pull, the contraction and the expansion. Release your right foot and switch sides. My real trigger as a human being is people, Raquel probably knows this about me already, is people who are like really victim-y, right? And I think from a philosophical standpoint, I'm just realizing this as we're doing this class, the reason why is it's just a total lack of point of view on how the world works, right? Like you're never always gonna be down. It's like it doesn't happen that way. There's a pulse. Release, go back to the first side. Like we can feel so attached when we get stuck in a contracted place, or we can be so attached when we're in a really expansive place. And it's just like the place we have to shift to is that you're fortunate for all of it. You're fortunate that you get to experience any range of emotion because you're living, you're embodied. That's the lucky piece. That's the fortunate piece. Release your right foot and then go to the left side again. Second time, second side. In the tradition that I come from, the tantric philosophy, there is no good or bad. There just is what happens. We can qualify it, but it's just to kind of make it more pedestrian and understand it conceptually, but it just is. You got lucky. You're in this body. You get to do all the things you get to do, whatever they are. Release your left foot. And really simply flip onto your back. You can keep your head facing in the direction that you are. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, settle for a moment. So we're going to take a couple of back bends. Let's warm up with a Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So lift your hips, your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor, heels right underneath your knees or to whatever degree you can like figure out what that placement is. Lift your hips up and clasp your hands behind your back. If you can't clasp your hands, holding the outer edges of the mat is a really wonderful and very informative way to do this pose. What I want you to watch out for is not having any part of your spine on the ground. Upper palate presses straight back to the floor as you lift your heart up. Keep spinning your inner thighs to the floor. And then this focal point in this posture is actually right in the upper palate. So like the center back of the skull. You're pressing down from that point and extending out from that point. But from your feet, you're drawing energy up into that point, which actually helps create a little bit of a lift in your upper back. Take one more big breath in. Exhale and land for 2 breaths. Try not to move very much. Just inhale and exhale. Take your time to settle. I think you are warm enough to work an Urdhva Dhanurasana. And if you feel like you want to hang with bridge, you'll work 2 more bridge poses as we work Urdhva Dhanurasana. So plant your hands in line with your ears, at least shoulder distance width apart, which is center of the wrist lined up with outer shoulder. Just hang out for a second. So notice as soon as you place your hands, we go into this very like contracted place because we arch our back. We're like ready to go, right? So just soften a little bit. Allow the back body to expand. The focal point is going to be the pelvis. So from your feet and your fingertips, you're drawing into the pelvis. And from the pelvis, you're extending out. And you can even let those physical actions be manifest in the breath, which we'll try to do. So lift your hips, press to the crown of your head for the briefest moment to plug the arm bones into the shoulder sockets and pull the blades on the back. Your hands will come closer to your feet when you do that. Press up. As you inhale, draw energy from your feet and fingertips into the pelvis. As you exhale, stretch. And it's subtle. You're holding this pose, quote unquote, still. You're still in this pose, but we know there's a profound pulse happening right underneath the stillness. One more breath. Land on the back of your head as you come down. And then for 2 breaths, just try to be here and just feel your breath. Last one, bridge or Urdhva. Take your time. Pausing on the crown of your head in Urdhva, as I think we know at this point, is to really move the arm bones back into your shoulder sockets and hug the blades on the back. There's a bit of weight on your head, but most of the weight is still in your legs. Try to lengthen evenly from the pelvis down into your feet and from the pelvis up through the heart center. Take one more really big breath in and lower all the way back down. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Hug your knees into your chest. Sweet, gentle, just rock a little bit side to side. And then give yourself a really nice squeeze. Hug the knees straight into the chest. Forehead to knees is a beautiful variation. And release your head and your shoulders down. We're going to take Supta Gomukhasana. So right thigh crosses over left, which should obviously feel familiar at this point. Either hugging the knees into your chest if you're not quite that open, or you're going to reach from underneath your heels and grab your heels. Try to have your heels the same height away from the floor, and I want you to find the pulse here. As if there isn't enough going on, you're pulling your heels toward your shoulders as the sitting bones and the tops of the thighs move away from your shoulders. The legs, obviously the thighs are contracted, and you're almost pulling your heels wide as you pull them toward you to expand. Let go of your heels and lower your left foot to the floor. Scoot your hips a little bit to the right, knees into the chest as you take them over to the left. Arms out, really in any position, a cactus or a straight arm position, and just lengthen through the right side of your body. Feel the pulse of your breath, especially in these postures where we're a bit more still. Inhale onto your back, uncross, scoot your hips to the middle, recross the other way. Let's do Gomukhasana first. So reach forward and grab your heels. And try to find those two pulsations. So the heels pull towards you as the sitting bones reach away from you. And then obviously thighs contract quite a bit and you're pulling your heels away from the midline. Take one more big breath in and a full breath out. Let go of your feet. The right foot lands, scoot your hips to the left, knees right. One more breath. Come onto your back, uncross, hug your knees into your chest for that same sweet Apanasana. So forehead to knees, really hug in. You could rock front to back on your spine now or roll to your side to come all the way up to sit. Bring your palms together in front of your heart and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Acknowledge the pulsation that defines your life. May this practice always teach us to embrace it. Namaste.